let's do some depraved and debaucherous, shall we? Background checks and online dating. So a couple of things going on when it comes to background checks. When online dating verification isn't enough. So now people feel like the catfishing thing can be such a thing. And now people are at a point where there's no trust. Or just an overabundance of, I got to make sure. Because people are just very paranoid. And it's what it is. Now, initially I took from the New York Post, who talks about how almost 20% of singles run a background check on their dates. 1 in 5. And that 38% of respondents say they simply stalk their first dates online instead. Now, I do that. If I can find information where I can at least get a first name, or if there's a possible first and last name, I will look somebody up on social media. I will do that. Just because I want to be able to see if anything pops up, Facebook or Instagram, and then maybe go ahead and see if anything works out from it. So there was a survey of 1,000 singles. It's conducted by the Thriving Center of Psychology. And they make a point about there are 127 million adults that are single. I don't know if that's in America or what. Man, that's crazy. 127 million adults unattached. Now, 91% as if they find solace in their independence. 1 in 3 admit they are not content as a single person. And half confess to missing physical connection. Others feel like they are being left in the dust by friends who are married or taken. Well, you know what? That depends on age. When you get older, it does change. We do know that. I know that. In my 20s, I definitely felt they being left in the dust. Because I always made a point of not being the third wheel. If a friend of mine got married or got a girlfriend, I stepped back. I didn't stay close, or I didn't try to get myself involved because I didn't want to be that third wheel. I hated it. I just thought it was a horrible idea. But yeah, like a physical connection, I'll admit I'm feeling that now. I mean, for the most part, it's because I'll admit in these days, I've been very hesitant to go out and make the attempt. I guess I've just gotten very comfortable. I know I have. I shouldn't even say it. I should think. I really do feel like I am just gotten very comfortable. I just haven't done anything to put myself out there, get dressed up, be seen, and, you know, I'm not doing it where I'm going to work or anything like that, right? I mean, when I go out to the stores, right, if I go to the mall, if I go to whatever stores I go to, supermarkets, I'm not talking to anybody. And for the most part, I really just keep on earbuds and I'm listening either to a book or music and just moving along and bopping along with my day. So somebody has to really make the trouble of stopping me so I can pull the earbuds off and talk. But it doesn't happen much, right? It's what I did. I just said to myself, okay, I really just don't feel like I'm getting anywhere. That if I make the attempt, I'm already talking myself out of it. In my age, in my late 40s now, that's where I feel. On top of that, I just feel like there's a lot of reasons where I just don't want to go and approach somebody. I've given myself so many excuses. That's what happens when you're single. Single for a long time like I have. You realize you start making a whole lot more excuses as to why you'll stay single. And you continue to, really make the feel of like, oh, I'm okay with my independence. 91% insisting they found solace. I'm in that part. Now they say this in this survey. The online dating pool is desolate and they flock to local haunts and attempt to meet someone the old-fashioned way. Well, I'm not going to go to the bars anymore. And 29% of respondents claim they spent more than 20 minutes searching someone on the internet prior to meeting in person. 49% believing so is socially acceptable. Now, dating apps have evolved. Creators have made it easier to ensure a date's identity and the user's own safety. Tinder actually added a background check feature to its platform in 2021. And there are others out there to do the same thing, if that's what you want. So it can be done that way as well. And nearly half are afraid of being alone forever. 30%. They still go on dates to feel less lonely, or 31% of daters to end up feeling lonelier after they come home. It's sad, but that's where we are. And I don't know if I feel like I could be at the point of that I'm going to make the jump back into dating just to be disappointed. It's the part I don't want to do. And I'll admit, it's not something I really care for and I don't want to really be a part of. But surprisingly, there's a whole lot more that's going behind this. Just keep that in mind. Dating trends have also continued to change, and Match Group, who owns most of the major dating sites, that's what goes on with dating sites, right? They're all owned by big corporations for the most part. So Ipsos did a report, and what they found out was a couple different highlights. 2/3 of users report online dating results are as good or better than meeting offline. The majority of LGBTQ people, over 57%, have positive experiences with dates using dating platforms. Ease of dating, large and diverse pools rank as top benefits of dating platforms. ID verification, reporting tools, and access to emergency services are top safety asks of users. This is pretty bland because it's Match Group that actually put out this press release. But then there's the reason why the background checks and all the scamming is such a prominent thing, because the dating apps need to worry about what happens here. A couple weeks ago, there was a press release that came out about how there's an increased usage of dating apps and websites around Valentine's Day, people looking for companionship. And with that, there was a Just report claiming that global installs of dating apps saw a 14% increase in February 2021 compared to the February average. And then when they say when there's increased usage of the platforms, fraudulent activity is not far behind. Scammers will take advantage of people's heightened desire to meet someone. With a surge around Valentine's Day, the risk of fraudulent activity has increased as well. The FTC in 2021 said there were 56,000 complaints of romance scams, and the average of $2,400 were stolen. Overall, a cumulative record lost, $547 million by all these consumers. Out of roughly 56,000, they were robbed of almost $550 million. Wow. Now, there was an issue by the FBI's Internet Crime Complaint Center that online dating fraud now costs victims an estimated $1 billion in 2021. $1 billion. Wow. And many being fraud, leading cardholders to file chargebacks. So there's a lot there that people can all discuss and complain about that are not good. So everybody's all on a fever pitch. Background check. Is it good? Is it not? Well, that's up for all of you to think. But it's what we do. We want to be depraved and debaucherous.